Welcome to Safe and Sound, a monthly podcast on cybersecurity, presented by GrandPad and the Layton Podcast Network.
Welcome to Safe and Sound, the podcast that helps older adults stay informed, confident, and protected in today's digital world. I'm Sarah Wilchin, Director of Member Experience at GrandPad. In 2026, some of the most dangerous scams may not look suspicious at all. They may sound like someone you love. With AI now able to clone voices in seconds, scammers are targeting families in deeply personal ways, especially seniors who may not realize just how real these calls can sound and feel. Today, we're breaking down how voice cloning scams work and why they're so effective, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself and the people who matter most. Joining me, as always, is Derek Barksdale, GrandPad's Director of Security and Privacy. Thanks for joining me again today, Derek.
Thanks, Sarah, and I'm glad to be here. As AI continues to evolve, it is important for all of us to understand how to separate the good from the bad. Imagine picking up the phone and hearing your grandchild's voice, panic, urgent, and asking for help. Most grandparents would immediately go into protect mode. I know mine would. Today's scammers are using AI to blur the line between what is real and what is fake like never before. And seniors are increasingly in the crosshairs. In this episode, we're unpacking this new wave of deception and sharing simple, practical ways to stay one step ahead.
Wow, that's just so sad and frustrating that scammers prey on seniors, by using the ones that they love and the love of their families to make them a target. But we're here to help listeners recognize these scams and protect yourselves from them. As always, these criminals are using pressure and a variety of tactics to build on that false emergency. Like they're claiming to be a close relative, like Derek said, often a grandchild. And the goal is to create fear and panic and urgency so that senior acts really quickly. Like they don't stop to think, they just jump in to help and they don't really verify the story.
That's exactly right, Sarah. Creating urgency and panic is the goal. If I can speed you up, I can stop you from thinking clearly. Some people may ask, how do scammers even know who is connected to a specific person? The answer is simple. Scammers can now recreate someone's voice from just a few seconds of audio pulled from social media. I always warn my family to be careful about what you put on social media and who you associate yourself with, because these scammers are watching your content. And as a security professional, I'm always cautious about how much information people share online. Now with AI, even your voice can be copied and used in harmful ways.
Wow, it's just, again, frightening, frustrating, and sad that this is the way the world is right now. But Derek, let's give some examples. Like what might one of these calls sound like?
It might sound something like, this is grandma, it's me, or excuse me, let me replay that. It might sound something like this. Grandma, it's me. Please don't hang up. I was in a car accident and I need your help right now. The voice sounds familiar. The caller sounds scared. Then before you have time to think, they ask for money. That is what makes these scams so dangerous. They do not begin with logic. They begin with emotion. And if they can play on your emotions, they can get you to react quickly without thinking clearly. They want you to react before you verify.
That's such a good point that you brought up, Derek. They begin with emotion rather than, anything else. Like that's so true. When our emotions get involved, we want to just help. It pulls on that need to protect and take care of your family. And that's exactly what a loving grandparent would do. They would just help first and ask questions later.
Right. We all have grandparents who love us, who care for us, and who would do anything for us. And scammers count on these instincts. They know older adults care deeply about their family, and they're willing to go to any length to make sure they're safe. So they use fear, urgency, and confusion to shut down careful thinking.
Wow, Derek, that's just so disturbing, but such good information for us to have. It's always better to be armed with the information, however hard it is to hear. So most people would never imagine scammers are searching through their social media for ways to target seniors or for anyone else for that matter. It's just something you don't think about that would be another vulnerable point.
Absolutely. When someone is determined to do harm, there's often no limit to what they are willing to do to get what they want.
Wow. So, how do we protect ourselves and our loved ones? Since this scam depends on urgency and plays on those emotions and panic, what are some of the steps that we can do to help our seniors and our families stay aware and prepared?
Sarah, there are a few things we should all do to help protect ourselves against scammers impersonating a loved one or using AI to duplicate a familiar voice. First, pause and verify. If you get an urgent call from a strange number, stop and verify who is calling. Ask if you can call them back directly using a number you already have and trust, especially if someone is impersonating a grandchild. Please ask them, can I call you back on the number that I'm familiar with so that you can verify that person's identity. Second, create a safe word or a question. I do this within my own family. Each one of my children and my wife has a safe word that we all use if it's an emergency or we are in a situation where we are compromised. If there's ever a real emergency, we use this word of question that helps confirm the situation is genuine. If the caller cannot verify it, that is a major red flag. Usually it's somebody impersonating your loved one. Third, never send money on the spot. Scammers often pressure people to send money by wire transfer, gift card, or even now cryptocurrency. These means are mostly untraceable. Those methods, they are hard for individuals to identify, trace where they're exactly going. So scammers use these means to send money to various locations. Always pause and talk to a trusted person before sending anything. That gives you time and a second opinion so you can make an informed decision.
Yeah, Derek, thanks. Those are great precautions. I love the reminder of pausing and calling back on a number you recognize. Because if the number is not one you recognize, that's something that should tip off kind of that first red flag. So saying, hey, I'm going to call you back on the number I recognize is a really great idea. And again, that safe word, love that idea. Never send money right away. One more thing I'll add that kind of plays on that safe word is just talking to your family ahead of time. I think the most important piece to this is talking about things before it happens and setting up that safe word and just talking about what is being seen in the world right now. What are the common scams now? I mean, we'll never know them all, but it's good to talk about what is out in the news and what people are seeing so that we can encourage those family members to check in with one another and another trusted person so that they have those resources before taking any action.
We are family. Sister Sledge. You know, for people listening who might feel they're out of touch with family or family members because they're not connected, not wired, as they say, unable to share emails, correspond with kids, grandkids, nieces and nephews, well, now they can be connected. You can be connected. The best part is it's easy to do. The solution is called GrandPad. GrandPad is a simple and secure tablet that connects you to your family and friends. No longer do you have to miss out on birthdays, graduations, weddings, other special occasions. Even everyday activities can all be shared on a GrandPad tablet. With GrandPad, you can view family photos and videos, play games, check on the weather, listen to your favorite music, send and receive emails, even voice emails, make outbound phone calls by just tapping a picture or a graphic on the screen. You don't have to take a computer course to do this. GrandPad's simple month-to-month, no-risk, no-contract membership includes everything you need to connect with your digital family. It comes with all the support that you need to stay in touch. Visit grandpad.net, just the way it sounds, grandpad.net. See how this simple device can be an incredibly powerful way to share all of life's little and big moments. See what a difference it can make in your life, the life of a parent or relative who would love to be in touch.
So can you walk us through a few more examples of how these scams might play out?
Absolutely. Here's one common version. A grandparent gets a call from someone who sounds like a grandchild saying, I'm in jail, or I hit someone with my car, or I'm hurt and I need money right now. Then the caller adds, please don't tell mom and dad. I'm embarrassed. Usually this is an isolation moment. They don't want you calling anybody else to verify who they are or if this is a genuine call. The request for secrecy is a major red flag. Here's another version. After the first call, a second person gets on the line and pretends to be a police officer, a lawyer, or a hospital worker. That person sounds calm and professional. They may say, "We need a payment right away," or "Wire the funds today to avoid charges." That is meant to make the story sound official. Again, always verify with trustworthy information if you feel that you might be being scammed.
Wow, that is a great call out. So you're not only hearing and having that emotion of what you think is your loved one on the phone, but now this authoritarian figure comes on and just adds to the believability of it to really make that whole story seem more plausible. That is a lot of pressure.
Exactly. And pressure is the point, right? Scammers do not want you to slow down. They do not want you to hang up. They do not want you to call someone you trust. They want to keep you on the phone until they get what they've come after. And always, again, hang up, pause, verify, and ensure that it's your loved one that you're talking to instead of a scammer.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Now, Derek, some people may be wondering, how did they get my loved one's voice in the first place?
Sometimes it comes from something as simple as a short video posted online. Maybe it is a birthday clip or a graduation message or a social media post where someone is talking for just a few seconds. That may not sound like much, but today's AI tools can use even a small voice sample to create something that feels surprisingly real.
Wow, that's really unsettling. You'd think it'd have to be something like a 5 or 10 minute clip to have enough words and intonation of your voice, not just a few seconds clip, but it does really make you think about what you put out on social media and what's all out there in the world. And we don't want to not share with one another, but then when some of those other calls come in, it's just a good chance to think and take that time that you need to understand what's really happening, because a familiar voice may not be proof in and of itself anymore.
That's exactly right. Today, hearing a voice you recognize is not enough. Verification matters more than ever. Technology is sophisticated and scammers are advancing with technology. So we have to be careful and make sure that we're not being scammed.
Yeah, that's so great. Derek, this has been such helpful information. So to sum it up, can you give us a few quick things to remember if we ever think we're encountering this kind of scam?
Sure, Sarah. First, always pause and think. Do not let panic make the decision for you. Always give yourself time to think about what you're hearing and being able to process that information correctly. 2, validate where the request is coming from. Hang up and call back using a trusted number. If your loved one is in trouble, then you should be able to call at least 1 or 2 numbers to verify that they are actually in trouble. 3, have a loved one on standby who can help. I love this one. A second opinion can make all the difference. Always have someone that you know, that you love, that you can trust to help you process information if you're having trouble determining if you're being scammed.
Those are great tips, Derek. Thank you. So pause and think, validate, and use your resources around you. Confidence and caution go hand in hand. When something feels off, take a breath, reach out. I think the most important thing is to remember that you're not alone in it. I think you mentioned that earlier about the isolation, and you're not alone. So don't fall into that panic, and reach out to the resources that are around you, because that's our strongest defense. Thanks for joining us today on Safe and Sound. If this episode helped you, please share it with someone you care about. One simple conversation can prevent a costly scam. And if you're a GrandPad user, remember, we're always here to help. Our support team is just a tap away. Thanks for listening. To learn more, visit grandpad.net. Until then, stay safe, stay connected, and live grand.
Safe and Sound is a monthly podcast presented by GrandPad and the Layton Podcast Network. Find this and other podcasts on demand at WinonaRadio.com.